Evaluating trig functions in Quadrant 1. Example 1. Use the figure at the left to name the 6 basic trigonometric functions in terms of x, y, and r, where r is the radius of the circle. So notice it says in terms of x, y, and r, where r is the radius of the circle. So in this case, the radius of the circle is not going to be 1. So we're not dealing with just a basic unit circle here. We're dealing with a circle of any radius, okay? So we're dealing with that circle of any radius. So r equals any radius. So that gives us flexibility in applying what we talked about in the previous slide to any possible circle out there. So in the previous slide, our radius was 1, and we were stuck to only being able to apply those trig ratios to the unit circle. However, what we talk about here will allow us to apply that same concept to any circle. So here it shows us that we have that radius equals square root of x squared plus y squared formula, and that comes from our equation of a circle formula, but it's just solved for the radius. So your equation of the circle formula would be r squared equals x squared plus y squared, and all they've done there is square rooted both sides to get r equals square root of x squared plus y squared. And that's where that came from. Now, we also have some other information here. We have the x-axis here and the y-axis here. We have the radius that's been listed here. So that's the distance here between this center point and this point here. And there's like kind of an after image of that circle and where it would have been. Kind of messily drawing that highlighted circle. And then we also have a distance between x and this point on the circle and the y-axis and this point on the circle. So before we get really started here, I want to recall the basic trig ratios. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. Another way to write that is sine is opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. And we need to keep those concepts in mind because what we're truly dealing with here are right triangles. Notice that this triangle here is a right triangle. The right angle is the intersection here between the x-axis and the line from the x-axis up to the point on the circle. So if we are looking for the sine of the angle theta, which is labeled here at this angle that I've highlighted in green, we know that sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Hypotenuse we are going to call r because that is the radius. So for all of these, we're going to refer to the hypotenuse as r. Opposite, in this case, is the distance from x all the way up to the point on the circle. Well, that's the same as the distance along the y-axis, so we're going to refer to that as y. So if we're writing sine of theta, that's going to be opposite over hypotenuse, which simplifies for us here as y over r. Cosine is going to work similarly. So cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And now I'm going to do some little erasing. Adjacent is going to be the side that touches the angle but is not the hypotenuse. So that's going to be the distance along the x-axis. So we're going to call that x. So adjacent is right here, x, over hypotenuse is still r. And then tangent is always opposite over adjacent. So opposite is still y, and adjacent is still x. And you can see that the tangent for the circle of any radius is exactly the same as the tangent of the circle with a radius of 1. So now when we're going to look at our cosecant, secant, and cotangent, those are simply the reciprocal, the inverse of sine, cosine, and tangent. So all we do is write the reciprocal of what we have on the left. So instead of y over r, this is going to be r over y. And then x over r is going to be r over x. And then cotangent of theta, y over x is going to be x over y. So notice that we just switch we find the reciprocal of sine, cosine, tangent. So what occurs to the sine and cosine ratios when the radius of the circle is 1? Well, when the radius of the circle is 1, if we replace the r with 1, notice that it just becomes y for sine. And cosine is x over r, which would be 1, which would be x. So sine of theta is just y, and cosine of theta is just x. So that returns us back to the exact same values we had with the unit circle, because when the radius of the circle is 1, then you're just dealing with a unit circle again.